Estar con nosotros en su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Buenos días, Michael.
Buenos días.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, bien, muy bien.
Muy bien, me da mucho gusto. Perfecto. Well, do you know we are so close to the election, November 8th, but do you know so many people still don't understand the importance of voting? Just tell me, please.
Well, it's a constitutional right, but it's also a constitutional responsibility because when we live in a democracy, which is the form of government that we live in, democracies don't function if the general population is not involved. And if people who have money are the only people that are involved in the process, then it's not a democracy. It's called an oligarchy, where the powerful, the rich and the powerful run everything. That's what Russia has right now. And so, it's extremely important for us to get out and participate in our government, exercise our right to vote. And our right to vote it's not a guarantee. It is something it should be held in high esteem because there's some people trying to make laws that makes it more and more difficult to do that. I happen to be a member of a group of people that was discriminated against, and laws were passed that prevented us from voting because, many, many years ago, the majority population in some places in the South was black, but they were not in control of anything. And being an active voter gives you some measure of input into government, into establishing how the rules are made. And if you're not a part of that process, then the rules that get made are rules that you have to live with, and they may be rules against you. So it's important to get out there and exercise that responsibility.
Okay.
And that vote.
Now, please repeat in Spanish whatever you told me in English.
Okay, that's not going to happen.
Bueno, estamos hablando, amigos, la elección del 2022 va a ser noviembre 8, estamos cerquísimas y le preguntaba yo cuál es la importancia, por favor, comunícanos cuál es la importancia de que salgamos a votar, porque desafortunadamente todavía muchísima gente no entiende por qué tenemos que salir a votar. Y dice, bueno, primero porque es un derecho constitucional, pero también es una responsabilidad. Dice, las democracias trabajan cuando la gente sale a votar y elige a quien quiere que los gobiernes, porque si no, se convierte en una oligarquía donde solamente los ricos y los poderosos tienen la posibilidad de decir cómo va a marchar el país. Así es que tenemos que participar en las decisiones de nuestro propio gobierno y tenemos que disfrutar de ese derecho a votar. Dice, porque yo pertenezco a un grupo que vivía mayormente en el sur y se refiere a la comunidad afroamericana que no teníamos el derecho a votar. Entonces tuvimos que luchar hasta que se pudo lograr esto y eso hace la diferencia. Nuestra información que nosotros pongamos en cómo se maneja el gobierno es lo que va a hacer que el gobierno funcione de una manera u otra. Así es que por eso es tan importante que votemos. And also people who doesn't go to put your ballot in the place, but still is voting, no? Because if your lack of vote, give the vote to whatever you don't want.
It can, yes. It can. You can be controlled by not voting because those who did vote will be the people who are making contributing to how the laws are structured and who their representatives are going to be. And it's important to participate in the government, and the voting is part of the government.
Aunque usted no vaya a votar, definitivamente si no va a votar, está permitiendo que alguien más elija por usted, de tal manera que está votando en contra de sus intereses, porque entonces los que sí votan van a decidir todo lo que se hace, cómo se hace y cuándo se hace. Por eso es tan importante que ejerzamos todo nuestro voto y este 8 de noviembre es importantísimo. Do you think that this November, how do you, what, how important do you think that is this election for the future of the United States?
In this particular election cycle, I think it's extremely important because what's happening at the congressional level with the Senate and the House of Representatives, there are some responsibilities that need to be uh, uh, applied, if you will. We just had this past session of the Supreme Court took some things with the reverse of Roe v. Wade. Um, they took the rights of women away. Just summarily say, well, we're going to not do this. Well, it's been a law for 50 years. The right to abortion and women in being in control of their own health. Well, the Supreme Court changed that. The only way that you can change what the Supreme Court did is to have representatives in Congress to pass a law that makes it clear what the rights of women are and makes it clear that is a law of the land, not something that can be even manipulated by the Supreme Court. Well, if you don't vote and you don't have the representatives in office to exercise that legal development, the development of that law, then it doesn't happen. And what the Supreme Court did, uh, lives on until something comes along that's going to change it. And the only thing that can change it would be action on by Congress. So now is the time to get out and vote. Now is the time to exercise your responsibility because if you don't, especially young women, young fathers and mothers who are concerned about their little girls, if you don't, then their rights are impaired in the future for a long, long time. And so we need to be very conscious about, who we're voting for and what those people stand for so that we know that's, well, so that the system in America actually represents all people, including young men and women.
Bueno, tenemos que ir a un corte, pero antes de irme rápidamente voy a pasar la traducción porque si no puedo olvidar. Le preguntaba yo qué tan importante cree que es esta elección del 2022, de noviembre 8, para el país. Dice, bueno, pues definitivamente es una de las más importantes porque el Congreso tiene que apoyar, vamos a elegir al Congreso y se están discutiendo muchas cosas, como la decisión que se acaba de hacer en la Suprema Corte de Justicia de quitar la ley esta del derecho a la mujer, del aborto, se ha trasladado ahora a los estados y dice Roe versus Wade, y este es el quitarle a las mujeres el derecho de decidir sobre sus propios cuerpos, dice, sobre sus propias situaciones, dice, y esta ley ya ha estado vigente por 50 años, bueno, no es ley, esto del derecho, ese derecho ha estado vigente por por casi 50 años, así es que ahora es el tiempo de ejercer su voto. Fíjese quién está en contra o en favor de esto, y entonces así usted va a votar en esta campaña que va a ser decisiva para decidir el futuro de la nación, no solamente de las mujeres. We don't want to go back to the 1950s. No way, José. No. Bueno, we are going to take a break and we will be back. Vamos a un corte y regresamos. Buenos días, gracias por estar con nosotros en su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde Hermosa 1470M, 96.9 FM. Les habla Lilia Galindo. Me acompaña Michael Dutton. Good morning.
Buenos días.
Buenos días. Bueno, estamos hablando, Michael, some people that I ask them, why don't you vote? They say, no, I don't know how to go to register myself. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. There are so many names. Then I don't want to vote only because I saw a big signal. What do you advise to these kind of people?
Well, I advise that they get themselves educated about the world around them, and how they are impacted by who gets put into office and how they get put into office. And how people get put into office is determined by who votes. And so if there's somebody that you want to support that's running, that's very good. That's who you should vote for. But you should participate because that that's a civic responsibility of citizenship. And if you want to be a citizen of America, it's important that you exercise your citizenship. And the most powerful way to exercise your citizenship is to vote. You know, we citizenship is such an issue, especially here in California and other border states, because we have an immigrant population that comes through to us from our southern borders for various reasons, and we have a citizenship issue that needs to be cleared up, and who we vote for is who will be there to clear it up. You know, there have been complaints and all kinds of things said and done over the years relative to citizenship. You know, one side complains, the other side tries to solve the problem, but the side that was complaining doesn't do anything to help, and the two sides are not working together when Congress is organized to help solve some problems in our country, and we need to vote in some problem solvers, not political pundits or political uh, party members who only vote according to a party line. We have to have some logic, some thought, and some leadership in our representatives, and so we need to vote for people like that.
Le decía que muchas de las personas me dicen que no votan porque, yo no sé cómo inscribirme en el bueno, cómo registrarme para votar, yo no sé por quién voy a votar, y le digo a Michael, ¿qué le aconsejas a esas personas? Si yo les aconsejo que se actualicen en lo básico de lo que es esto, porque es tan importante que ellos sepan que estas personas que van a ser electas van a hacer decisiones que afectan la vida de todos nosotros, ¿verdad? Entonces depende. Bueno, fíjese qué clase de mensaje, dice, sobre todo ahorita que acaba de pasar lo de esto de quitar el derecho a las mujeres de decidir por sí mismas si quieren tener hijos o no, que derecho de reproducción. Pero también dice, todas estas personas van a hacer las decisiones en todos los niveles, y si usted no vota, pues entonces se va a quedar fuera de poder contribuir a todo lo que se decida en el país. Es tan importantísimo que salgamos a votar, y si no sabe cómo, dice, este es un ejercicio constitucional que está ahí establecido y que tenemos que aprovecharlo para poder decidir quiénes queremos que nos gobiernen. Dice, por ejemplo, en el concepto de la migración, dice, si vivimos en los países, dice, en los estados del sur, donde hay bastante inmigración, ¿verdad? Dice, entonces, hay algunos grupos que están en favor de la inmigración, otros en contra de la inmigración. Entonces, si usted está en favor de la inmigración, fíjese cuáles son los candidatos que apoyan la inmigración, para que entonces se pueda llevar a cabo esto y pueda usted votar por alguien que quiera decidir que este país pueda darle ya la regularización a tantas personas que vienen aquí a trabajar los Estados Unidos, y que puedan tener ya un estatus. Dice, pero se ha dado una división en el Congreso. Dice que ahora no se puede trabajar, unas personas nomás obedecen a lo que su partido dice, y no hay la posibilidad de lograr acuerdos que beneficien a todo el país. Esto es una situación que ha estado ya por varios años y que ha producido que el país se quede como atorado. You know, now that you are talking about, when do you think that start this kind of division in which it was not possible to make any agreement? It started with President Bush or with President Obama?
Oh, I think it was.
Because
I think it was a Bush.
A little bit, no, but
A little bit.
it became
It was very bushy, especially when It was getting near the election, and that young boy from Cuba was an issue, and it sort of created a party line division there, and it was us and them attitude about the Bush campaign, and it was a
Do you know, after September 11, it was like we were all together, no? I
oh yeah,
thought that we were going to advance really well.
yeah.
And then, but I think that what came to divide totally, it was the President Obama when he took the power. Because in my opinion, for some people, they thought that they lost the country. They lost the power of the white man that
Well,
was always,
well,
no?
yes, I think that was some division there because there were Republicans and Democrats. They could call them quote unquote blue dog Democrats, who were, um, very, very. They were pinched. They were very concerned and very disturbed that um, a a black man was now the president, and I think that sort of polarized uh, a lot of people in Congress because they couldn't let loose of their racism.
And do you remember his speech when he was only a senator that he said, "This is not a blue America or a red America. We are the
Right,
United States of America."
right.
And he won with the big majority, but then some people start with that kind of messages that divide the country, and that was really, really bad.
Yeah, well, and this whole notion of and this is my opinion when I say this, but this whole notion of make America great again. Well, the
Meaning,
whole phrase in and of itself has a great deal of meaning because if you're going to make America great again, in that whole phrase, you're suggesting that it was great at some other point, greater than it is now. And if you're going to go make America great again, okay, when and how far? What are you referring to? How great was it when and for who?
do you know now? Let me translate. But I am remember somebody who told me I like to listen your program because I can practice my English. I can
Ah,
learn a little bit of English, and this
okay.
is true. This is true. But déjenme decirles, amigos, a los que nos están escuchando, estamos hablando de la discusión de qué es lo que ha pasado con el país, que el Congreso se ha dividido totalmente. No hay la posibilidad, o es muy rara la posibilidad de que haya acuerdos entre los senadores y los congresistas que pertenecen al Partido Republicano y al Partido Demócrata, porque cada quien está en su burro y no se quita, ¿no? Y le preguntaba yo, ¿desde cuándo crees que empezó esta situación? ¿Desde el presidente Bush o fue con el presidente Obama? Dice, bueno, con el presidente Bush empezó cuando se acuerdan de un niño cubano que se vino acá y que su papá lo quería allá en Cuba y que se hizo todo un rollo, ese fue el principio. Pero luego dijimos con el presidente Obama, el hecho de que haya sido un hombre afroamericano el que tomó el poder, es como que le digo, yo me acuerdo de un discurso que el presidente Obama como senador hizo, y en el partido demócrata dijo, aquí no es la América azul o la América roja, aquí son los Estados Unidos de América, como dando la impresión de que tenemos que trabajar juntos en la unidad para el progreso de los Estados Unidos, y efectivamente mucha gente votó por él, la gran mayoría, pero luego vinieron ciertos grupos a hablar de esto y de aquello que han hecho que no hay acuerdos en el Congreso, cada quien está montado en su macho, y bueno, lo que hemos visto es que hay muchas propuestas que podrían ayudar a la comunidad y que no pasan porque no hay el apoyo del otro partido. What do you think that is going to happen in the future? Is going to be situation going to be fixed? I believe
I,
that
I don't
if
have a crystal ball. I can only um, share my hopes.
my hopes, our hopes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would hope that America will begin to focus on the things that we have in common, the things that every person in America really wants, and focus on the achievement of that, not the things that makes us different, and use that as a device to divide us. Because in a society as rich and powerful and diverse as ours, you can find something every day that's one side different from another. We There are some things that are universal that are common to us all, and those are the things that we need to focus on. And
Bueno, nos vamos, amigos. Les dejo de tarea la traducción. Hasta la vista, babies.